Hey, so I'm just taking a little preliminary video of this job that I'm going to be doing in the coming weeks. This is way before I'm doing any work, but we have an aerial line coming across one span to this pole, down the pole, and then we're going to hand dig all across here through the yard, through this rough terrain, lots of rocks along that path. Come over here, get under one sidewalk, and then there's another one. It curves around. There's another sidewalk just past that garden bed. Under the garden bed, under the sidewalk, and over kind of right between the unit and that tarp is the POE, the endpoint. Another beautiful day. We're getting started on yet another transitional dig. Really getting through them this month. This one should be really fun. We're doing about a 60-meter aerial path, which you'll see probably later in the video because we're starting with the dig first. We want to try to beat the heat, but this is the last pole that we're going to come down, and we're still determining the path, but our goal is to come around down this little rock retaining wall, through this compacted dirt driveway, and over to just between to the right of that blue tarp. So that's the goal, and we're going to see how it goes, but I think it should be smooth, pending rocks all through here, but one way or another we'll get it done. Here's a little update. We have the trench done more or less from the pole down to the driveway, and I've been hand trenching this with the pickaxe and the hammer, trying to break down and get to depth. You'll be able to see that. And yeah, Buddy's just over there working on getting the hole dug so that we can get under the sidewalk. It's like a stone paver sidewalk, but we're trying to just put a sleeve right underneath, and you'll see that later on. But yeah, looking good. Time to keep going. Hey, so we're trying to get under the sidewalk right now, and I'm working on using a sledgehammer with a 1 1/4 inch PVC to get under. The problem is our angle of attack. It's kind of tough. There's a water line right over here. The water line right there that we're trying to avoid, and lots of roots on that side. So I've been using this Super Hawg Milwaukee drill to try to break loose the ground a little bit, but here we go.
Oh, some movement on the other side.
Okay. So I think we're out. We just gotta dig now and try to find it. Hopefully we avoided some roots. Looks like we went down pretty deep. Okay, so we got the conduit through, and I think it's going down at an angle, so we're gonna have to get through these roots and find it, but we're making some progress. Okay, just a little update. This thing is a beast. It's Milwaukee Super Hawg, the big extension on it. We got the conduit in, you can see it right there, and we're in on this side, so that's good. Our first attempt, we ended up under this big root here, and it was just going to be too tight to bend the microduct. So I think this angle will work a lot better. And then we're off. All right, just a little progress vid. We've connected the trench. We have that side dug. We have the sleeve under the sidewalk. Got through most of these roots. There's one giant one that we're gonna have to just kind of poke through, drill through it. But we got under this garden divider. Dug pretty deep for the most of this part, but up until here, there's landscaping fabric, the felt, and we just really can't go lower. I would have to open up the ground way more to cut and then properly dig under. So little shallow here, still under 6-7 inches, I would say. You can see here some of my struggles trying to cut through it, but getting through. There's that power line that we're gonna go under right there. And yeah, I think it might be lunchtime soon, but we're getting there. Just a quick look at our lunch. A nice big juicy burger, some fries. Beautiful day. That's okay. Okay, so we're gonna be coupling the two microducts together because we had to cut it. We went under this penetration here, the power line, and in order to do that we had to cut it so we could pass it underneath. I could have uncoiled it the whole way and then brought it back, but that's just inefficient. So in order to do that, what I have to do is cut the first layer of the microduct, what I like to call the foreskin. I cut it back, which is this here, to expose the tracer wire, and then I cut the tube away to make it shorter. And then I can fit the coupler on, which is kind of like a shark bite. It just goes nice and tight in. And then I already prepped this other side where we're going to be continuing on. And you just pop it in, same thing. Now the lines can't come apart. Now the key part is you have to scotch lock these together with a little scotch lock like this, the tracer wire. Make sure that they're all the way into the end, and then grab some pliers. They slipped out, it's okay. Squeeze those in tight, and what I like to do is wrap it around here, and then use some electrical tape and seal it up. That way that tracer connection should be safe, and we have continuity through the microduct. And there you go. So that's how I extend and couple together the microduct. Okay, so we're finally up at the aerial portion. First things first, we got to pull the drop through the trees. Luckily we have a copper line. Go ahead! So got Buddy there, he's gonna pull the old copper. We have it laid out there. I'm pulling a 100-meter double drop. I'm really hoping it'll reach. It measures out just short, about 90 meters in total, so that's including down the pole. I've been up here 3 times or twice. I ran this drop. It's a little funky. That drop is cut now. And I also ran this drop, but I wasn't the one that came up here. I had someone with a bucket truck help me here, and then I was pulling from that side. Drop. I'm gonna feed it through here. So blue is primary. It's the one we're going with first. That's going into port 4. And the secondary drop is going to be parked. I don't know what happened here. Someone came and ran a drop after me and made an absolute mess. I don't know what this is. Gonna remove these copper preforms, clean this up. It's a long ass preform. Okay, now that that's cleaned up, we can fix this disaster. What to do, what to do. Let's see. Okay, one solution, although I don't know why this is over top. That's gonna be a tough fix. I don't have a lot of wiggle room here. The ladder is fully extended and I'm kind of in a weird position, so I'm not gonna play around too much. This should have had a bigger loop. Ran that maybe 2 years ago now. So, I feel like the camera's gonna die soon, but go in here. Right then I can see my loop. And I really want to be behind this one. There we go. Perfect. So now I can adjust my loop. Bring it over there a little bit. Perfect. And that one kind of organically fixed itself. These zip ties don't have to be too tight. They're just holding the shape. And there we go. Fix this one from almost falling off. This hook is okay. Beauty. So there we go. Got everything wired up. Pretty happy. What was that? There we go. Great. To the next pull, then we're almost done. Okay, we're about the next pull. Imagine having to thread that without a copper line. It's impossible. You have to clear cut everything. So just kind of testing the length there. We'll get some good tension. Pretty happy with that. Just gonna twist it a little bit away. Do my loop. And there we go. Nice little loop. Just gotta saddle down the pole. Not sure how much of that I'll get because I have to move the ladder, but so far so good. Okay, so we're just pushing through. We're a little worried that it might not reach all the way, but we're almost there. This has been a bit of a mess around. What ended up happening was our 100-meter line that I initially ran didn't reach by about 6 feet. We were short, which is really unfortunate. That being said, no problem I can't solve. So what I'm gonna do is I already pulled through a longer line, so I have that all the way over to the nib now, and I'm gonna boom put these in this nib and fusion splice it right there with the fusion splicer. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm gonna prep everything and then do the splice. Hopefully it doesn't give me too much issue. Field splices can be tough with all the dust and dirt, but everything's pretty much backfilled, getting back to normal. I have topsoil and grass seed that I'm going to be putting down, and both customers, both the landlord and the tenant who's getting the service, are happy, and yeah, it's looking good. So I'm going to prep here and then get going. We have both the drops stripped, and we're going to feed them in. I have the nib so high up because this standpipe is supposed to be either at 6 feet or else I have to install a U-guard, which I don't want to. So 6 feet up it is. And I wasn't expecting to have to do this originally. Let me see if I can reposition this. All right, let's get this guy up first. Not the ideal bend that I want. It's not the worst either. Okay, so I'm gonna saddle these, get them looking neat. That's what I'm looking for right there. Okay, then I'm gonna coil these up just a little bit. There we go. I want these to be pretty much the same length, which I think they are. Nice, pretty close. Okay, now I can start the splicing process. There we go. Check for damage. Looks like we're good. And I had a viewer tell me to tie these in a knot, which isn't a bad idea. Okay, that's that side. Now I'm going to do this side. Let's check for lengths. Oh, pretty much perfect. Just kind of eyeballing it. Get these hairs out. Thank you to my viewer for that tip. All right. Now we're doing blue to blue. We're not stripping or splicing the orange, rather. If they ever request service, then I'll come back and do it. Make your squeaky clean out. Pop that in there. Beauty. Close that for now. Now I can prep this side. Okay. Now we clean. Nice and clean. Now we cleave. go for it. 0.01 decibel loss. I'm happy with that. That being said, I'm gonna open that up. I'm gonna prep this to slide in. Slide this over.
Can you put it back in? Oh, that vacuum seals it, or heat seals it.
Yeah. There you go. So the first splice was okay, but it didn't end up doing too well. It snapped on me, and I was having trouble with this and this that comes with the splicer, so I decided to just use my own cleaver and splicer. But looks like it's done there.
And then we have a new connection.
Let it cool off there for a sec.
Oh yeah, it's all melted. Cool.
Yeah, there we go though. Splice is done. Now we just gotta wrap it up in there. Hey, do you mind taking this out of here? Okay, so this is this done. And then I'm gonna see you at the other end where I'm gonna finish up the drop. Just getting the drop done at the house side. Everything's looking pretty good. Not too happy with how the remediation of the lawn is looking. Just because we hit a lot more rock than I was expecting. So might have to come back and load up a couple more bags of topsoil, seed everything. We're going to seed it now and tamp it some more, see how it levels out. But sometimes, you know, just happens like that. Customer understands, and too bad. We had one of the customers' kids put some pylons there for safety. And yeah, I'll show you guys the finished path and what we did. Good the job, everything's done.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll take pictures and tell you, hey, this hasn't seeded in over here.
What?
And okay, here's everything backfilled, remediated, topsoil over there, and went back through here. There it is. Ended up doing a fusion splice in here. Anyways, there it is done. Fusion splice is right there. Normally I would put it in an enclosure here. I just don't have any. I wasn't expecting to do one today. And it goes up the pole and across. Now we're gonna go pick up the 32-foot ladder I left hanging up there. Went through all these trees. About a 60-meter span, or like 55-meter, 60 down the pole. And there we go. So that was 110-meter transitional dig. Everything went as planned. We had a couple issues, but those issues were solved nonetheless, and we got it done. It's 7:20. We got here at about 10 a.m. and we took about an hour break. We're like 10 minutes out of town, so 20 minutes back and forth, and then we had a nice lunch. But we got it done. So thanks for watching, and see you next time.